All right, guys, it is day 2 of the World Cup. Woohoo! It is 4:39 in the morning. I have the commentary paused at the moment, so hopefully I'll get it caught up before the game starts in 20 minutes. But it is time for the first games of the day. I got up at 3:45. I took a shower. I found out that my last video was copy struck multiple times. So I edited out any of the clips that were causing the problems, and we'll get that uploaded during this first game. But I just thought I'd pop in and say hi and talk about some things regarding the first match. So the first match is England versus Iran. I hope to put a little graphic here with their little things. I am predicting a strong England win. However, while watching commentary last night, I did discover that this is the only group where all 4 teams are ranked in the top 20. So Iran is ranked 20th in the world. Wales is ranked 19th. I don't know where England and USA are. I do know England's ranked higher, but they are, I think USA might be 11. I could be totally wrong about that number, but I'm thinking 11. And England's in the top 10. So this is a competitive group, and it is not going to be the cakewalk that I thought it would be. But it still probably is going to be England and hopefully the United States that progress forward. So the first match is going to be England versus Iran. During halftime, I'm going to go downstairs and have some crumpets as my little English well-wishing, I don't know what to call it, my ode to England. I am wearing a Hogwarts sweatshirt. I know Hogwarts is in Scotland, but you know, it's gonna have to work. So go England. I will switch later when we go out to my patriotic US shirt for that game, but apparently England right now is on a losing streak, so hopefully this match will turn that around, but we will have to see. So without further ado, I am going to, oh yeah, my crafts. So while editing yesterday and watching commentary after I edited, I did finish the leg of the first pumpkin sock. So it was late when I finished this, so I didn't want to start the heel without being able to finish it in one setting. So that might be the first thing I work on, is the heel. Additionally, on the Source of Evil MCal, the second part she released early, which was really exciting. So I got to start on that. And I think it's just looking so good. I am really loving this pattern. So this second part is a lot longer. I think I counted, okay, so there are 5 12-round repeats. That's 60 rounds, and then there's 3 of those. So that is 180, right? 60 times 3, 180, and then 2 12-round repeats in between. So it's a 5-round repeat, a 12-row repeat 5 times, and then there's a different 12 repeat. So 60 plus 12, well, okay, let's go to 180 plus 24, 204 rounds. Okay, so I have figured that each day I need to do 3 12-round repeats. So 5, 10, 15. So there'll be 17 altogether. You divide that by 7, but I'm just going to divide it by 6 to give myself a little extra. So, because those last ones are going to take a lot longer. So yeah, I need to do about 36 rows a day. So I'm going to make that like my goal each day. I'll probably do that as one of the first things. just because I would like to stay caught up with this one. So, we will see, because there's a lot I need to do to get ready for Vlogmas, but, yeah, that's just what's happening. So I am going to try to now catch up with where the live video is, and just work on those 2 projects, and I will come with another short video at the end of this game to wrap it up and preview the next game. So I'll talk with you guys soon. Bye.
So this is a crumpet. On the one side it looks like the inside of an English muffin with all these holes, and on the other side it looks like a pancake, but it does not taste like a pancake. So I'm going to put it in the toaster, and then you put butter on it immediately, and it soaks into all those holes and is just so delicious. And then I put jam. Sometimes I put cheese on, but usually I prefer to put a jam. So that is a crumpet.
Hey friends, so the game is done, and it ended 6-2 for England. If you can find a replay of this, I highly recommend watching this match. It was drama. There was at least 25 minutes of added time between the 2 halves, and there was questionable calls. There was two concussion substitutions. It was crazy. And then a scoreline of 6-2. I mean, come on. England scored 6 from 5 different players. It was amazing. And I'm not really an England fan, because I prefer Germany, and England is kind of the enemy in terms of soccer. But anyways, such a good match. I have notes, and since I can't put clips in, I'm going to go through my notes and share them with you. My dogs were super needy. Hang on, I'm going to pause the commentary. During this match, they all demanded cuddles at various times of the first half. And then I went downstairs at halftime to make my crumpet, which I should have entered a little video of what a crumpet is. But anyways, and I had discovered that those little baby puppies, and let me just tell you, there are terrible 2s for puppies as well. And that terrible 2 is 2 months. That is when they become the naughtiest little demons you can imagine. But they're so cute also. But anyways, they somehow got into a brand new box of potty pads and took them all out. All of them. Like, I went downstairs and the whole entry area was covered in potty pads that they had pulled out of the box. Like, out of the plastic that's in the box. And their little claws had destroyed a lot of them. And let me tell you, potty pads are not cheap. So that was very frustrating. Luckily, the garbage had not yet come. Monday is our garbage day, and they tend to come at like 6 a.m. really early. And luckily they hadn't come yet, so I was able to put away to throw away the destroyed pads that couldn't be salvaged at all. But anyways, so I did not, so all that to say, I did not finish my heel flap like I wanted, but I made some decent progress, and so I hope to finish it before having to go to the vet. I'm not probably gonna make it to picking up the gusset stitches and all that, but we'll just see where I can get to today. Anyway, so the notes. Early in the first half, there was at least 10 minutes in which the Iranian goalkeeper was down. Like, not Christian Eriksen down, but he had suffered a head injury. He was bleeding out of his nose a lot. He seemed determined to continue playing, and they let him, but within 5 minutes, he called for a substitution. And apparently they're now doing each team has one concussion substitution that's in addition to their normal substitutions that they're allowed to do. So if a player gets concussed, they can substitute him out, and it doesn't cost them one of their normal substitutions. So that happened early in the first half. Shortly after that, okay, this is minute 34. However, you have to keep in mind that 10 to 15 minutes of those minutes was the Iranian goalkeeper, and there was no play. Jude Bellingham scored his very first England goal ever, which is such a great job for him. He is only 19 years old. He has apparently captained for Dortmund in Germany a couple of times. So this guy has a bright, bright future. And I'm sure it is going to be such a memory for him for his whole life that his very first goal for country was at his very first World Cup match. And at 19, I mean, he has another 3 to 4 World Cups in him if he can continue to progress and do well. Unfortunately, I have seen a lot of promising, bright young players just fizzle out. I mean, I know of quite a few in Germany alone. You've got Mario Götze, you've got Julian Draxler, Benedikt Höwedes. These were all players that had promising talent and just weren't ever able to maintain it. Whether it was the pressure was too high or various things. You've got Lucas Podolski and Miroslav Klose, who were amazing for Germany, but were never able to replicate that on the club level. So I really hope that does not happen for this young man. His goal was fantastic, and at such a young age, it's just amazing. He apparently got his start in the Premier League at 16 in like 38 days or something like that. Super young. So great job. At 42 minutes, 45 seconds, okay, this is where I stopped being able to put their first names because I just couldn't get most of their first names. But a player named Saka, I'm also going to try to put in a picture of the players as I say them. Saka scored for England, so that brings them to 2-0. At 45 minutes, so less than 3 minutes later, like 2 minutes, Raheem Sterling for England scored, and that makes it 3-0. 14 minutes of added time, and they went to halftime with a 3-0 score, and England dominated. Like, it was not even really a competition. England dominated. In the second half, Iran made a bunch of substitutions at the halftime. They came out a lot more aggressive and like they were fighting. At minute 61, Saka scored again. I wish I knew his first name, but I don't know it off the top of my head. So that brings the score 4-0 to England. Just 2 or 3 minutes later, Taremi from Iran scored off the crossbar, and it was such a cool goal to see because it bounced on the top of the crossbar and then like back into the back of the net, and it was super cool. So that brings the score is that 4-1. At that time, an England player named Maguire suffered a concussion. I mean, it's not funny, but like 2 concussions, what are they doing? It's a little violent, but he suffered a concussion and was subbed off. So like at the same time that goal happened. 5 minutes later, England made 4 substitutions, and within 30 seconds, one of those substitutes, Marcus Rashford, scored. I mean, it was like, boom, he's on the field, basically his first touch of the ball, and he scores. I mean, it's so awesome. And the thing that I found really interesting that the commentator talked about is that he had been honored by the Queen. He'd received a phone call from her, and that was due to his work to help impoverished children get school meals. And I think that's really awesome and that's really cool. And to be honored by the Queen like that is really, really cool. Nothing happens for about almost 20 minutes. And then at minute 89, Jack Grealish from England scores. And so the score is 6-1 England. It's announced that 10 minutes of added time have been added. And this is where it gets to the final controversy of the game. And that is in the very last minute of extra time. A VAR, that's video assisted referee, calls the referee over to review a potential penalty claim, and in it you can barely see an England player tug on the jersey of a Iranian player. And normally I would agree that that probably should be a penalty, maybe. I mean, I think it's a soft penalty, to be honest. The thing that makes it controversial, though, however, is that in minute 2 of the match, all the way back before England had scored and anything like that, a far more obvious penalty was denied from England when 1 or 2 different English players were fouled by Iranian players in the box. Same, worse, more obvious jersey pulling was involved, but they didn't have the VAR overrule it. And I think that it's just a lack of consistency. I don't know if it's because the referees felt bad that Iran was 6-1 behind at that point, or because at the beginning they didn't want to influence the match too much by giving an early penalty early on. And if that's the case, that's fine, but then you can't award that one on the other end of the game for the same thing. You have to stay consistent. So if you're not going to give it in the beginning, you can't give it at the end. And that's why I don't agree that technology necessarily makes things more fair, because you're still using human emotions to decide things. There's also some debate if it was an obvious error by the referee, which is what the VAR is supposed to. If it's a clear and obvious error by the referee, not if it's a maybe, maybe not. And this was something that honestly was a maybe, maybe not. I saw far worse shirt pullings in so many matches before VAR was around that were never called. So I really don't feel like this was a clear and obvious thing. It doesn't change the fact that the outcome of the game is 6-2, but I just think for fairness sake that if you're not going to give it at the beginning of the game, you can't give it at the end. So that's all. I am going to stop this video here and then I will start recording again for my preview of the next match. But overall, it was an amazing match. And if you can find a replay of it online, or maybe it's going to be played again later tonight in America, watch it. I would really, really watch it. It was so exciting. It shows so much of what there is to love about the sport. And yeah, and as a neutral fan, I wasn't a big fan of either of these teams. It was really exciting to watch. So that's my 2 cents on this. So I will be back in a minute with my preview of the next match. Okay, match 2 of today is the second match in Group A, which is Senegal versus the Netherlands. And I am really torn here because usually when the Netherlands play a country I don't really care about, like England, not England, sorry, like Germany, United States, Wales, Denmark, whatever. Those are the countries I normally cheer for. Then I'll cheer on the Netherlands because, I don't know, I feel like we have some Dutch heritage. Afrikaans is a very Dutch-like language. And so I just just feel a small kinship towards them. However, they're playing Senegal. And I used to live in Senegal. I did not love living in Senegal as I was a teenager, and I love America and all of the nice things that America has to offer. And also, I just experienced some bullying in high school, in the high school I went to in Senegal, and the one I went to in the Ivory Coast. Honestly, Africa was not a great experience for me growing up. But, you know, there is that, like, I do hope that an Africa country can do well. And so I'm kind of torn on who to root for. And the other thing that's really sad is the big star of the Senegalese team, Mane. He plays for Bayern Munich, which is the club team I support, but he had to pull out of the squad and have surgery on his leg. And the thing that's really, really cool about Mane is he gives away most of his salary back to the people of Senegal. One time he was spotted with a super outdated iPhone with a cracked screen and everything. And a reporter asked him why he didn't replace his phone. And he said something like, it's unnecessary when there's so much more poverty around. And so, like, instead of doing something like upgrading his iPhone, which I just upgraded my iPhone and was super excited to do it, this guy gives back to the community that he comes from. And I think that that is so, so awesome. Unfortunately, he's not playing, and I think that really decreases Senegal's chances. So we'll probably see in the moment as I'm watching the game. I usually just get drawn to one team if I'm going in neutral. And we'll see what happens. I have both Senegal and the Netherlands coming out of this group. Apparently, there's a statistic that 84% of the teams that win their first match go on out of the group stage to the next round. And so when both of the teams that I have coming out of the group play that first match, you have the team that loses, you have to hope that, you know, they beat the odds, the statistics. But yeah, so I'm really excited for this game. It is starting in half an hour because the overtime of the previous match went so long. I'm probably not going to get to watch this whole match because we have to go to the vet. And yeah, so I'm hoping that when I pause the TV that it won't start playing while I'm gone, so that I'll hopefully be able to come back and just press the play button and continue watching the rest of that match and then the next match, because I really don't want to have the score ruined for me. But we will see. I am still DVRing it, so yeah, I'll still watch the full matches. But anyways, so that is my preview for Senegal versus the Netherlands, and I'm going to keep working on this sack, hopefully finish the heel. And I'll touch base with you guys again before the US versus Wales match, which I'm so super excited about. Go USA. Bye. Just hopping in with one quick thing I forgot to say. Senegal this year just won the Africa Cup of Nations, which is the first time they've ever done that. And so they are on a little bit of a winning streak right now. And hopefully coming off a high of winning that tournament. So I am hoping that that will help fuel their game. Again, I would love to see Senegal make it out of the group stages. So we'll see how this game plays out. But just, yeah, keep in mind that Senegal did win the Africa Cup of Nations. So, yay, go Senegal.
Hello. All the babies. Rosie Pose. Ow, you guys are vicious. Jamie, it's not all about you.
Oh, gosh. Someone is going at my foot. Hello. Gosh. Yeah, no respect for trying to watch the World Cup.
Georgie Porch.
Hi, dude.
Jamie. Little girls.
Gracie. Hello, Samwise. Okay, so the match is done. Senegal versus the Netherlands. And you want to compare size of notes? That's all I have written down. This game was so open. Both of the teams felt evenly matched throughout the whole thing. Unfortunately, in the 83rd minute, Cody Gakpo from the Netherlands scored. And at that point, I was texting with my sister who was also watching. And we were like, both felt that this game could end 0-0, but also felt like either team could score at any single moment. And unfortunately, that is what happened. And then there was 8 minutes of stoppage time. And Senegal had several really good chances where they came really close. The Netherlands goalkeeper made a couple really good saves. And in the very last minute of extra time, that 98th minute, 98th minute, the Netherlands scored one more and made it a 2-0 loss, which really sucked because Qatar versus Ecuador also ended 2-0. And in that match, Ecuador was clearly the better team. Like, it was so clear they were the better team. And this match felt really open, like it could go either way. Senegal did so good. I was so proud of them. And that really sucks. And I thought that a 0-0 draw would have been a better way to see both of the teams through the group. And but this is soccer, and that's how things happen. Last minute goals happen all the time, and it's not over for Senegal. If they can still win the next 2 games, they can still advance out of this group. So there's still hope. A loss in the first game is not the end of the story. It's not the end of the road. It makes it more difficult for sure, but it was a really good game. Not much drama, not much to tell. I did finish my my spread here, so I did put in pencil the current standings. These two have the same goal differential, and neither of them were scored against, so it's really kind of like tied and tied. I'm not sure at this point how they would break the tie, but yeah, so that wraps up the first round for Group A. I am going to go change into a patriotic t-shirt, and then I will come back and do my preview of the U.S. versus Wales game that will be happening in less than an hour. 55 minutes. We did end up moving our vet appointment. My husband is still feeling really not well, and I cannot handle all 5 of the puppies in the car by myself. For one thing, they won't stay in a box. They move around too much. And so I can't handle that on my own. I still have a bit of a congestion situation going on. So we moved it back 1 week. Ordinarily, we would have just moved it a few days, but with it being Thanksgiving and then Black Friday, this week is just a really short week for the vet being open. So we moved it back a week, and that's okay because a lot of people don't rehome till 10 weeks anyways. So I'm not too concerned. And then, and then I get a little bit extra time with the puppies. So even if they are naughty little things, they are also very loving little things. They're so cute. So I did take a clip as they were all messing around during the game. They're so funny. I hope it doesn't get copyright struck because the game is playing in the background, but we'll see. It wasn't on the screen, so anyways, I will be back in a minute. I'm just gonna go change into something patriotic, so be back. Okay, I'm back. I have got my Home of the Brave, Land of the Free shirt. I've got my patriotic bead necklaces. And because my hair has started to really drive me insane, I have a patriotic scrunchie that I made this past summer. So I am all here, all for America. Even though I do love to cheer on the Netherlands, I am going to put that to the side for this game. And I will be rooting for the United States. I am really hopeful for this squad, for this team, that we can make it out of the group stages, that we can go far, and I'm super excited. Wales does have one of my favorite players, Gareth Bale. I know he hasn't done particularly well all the time at club level, but he has been fantastic with the Welsh national team. I just really like the Welsh national team. And I don't actually know much about the American team because I tend to just watch Germany. But I am really proud to, root for America. I've always been a proud American. And so I am here, decked out and ready to go. I don't have much else to say besides that. I do have the USA as my predicted team to move forward out of this group after England. So I'm just really hopeful, and we will see what happens. So the game starts in 45 minutes. I've got to go see what's going on with that. So I will see you guys soon. Well, the match is over. Okay, I have to say this. As soon as the match started and the players took the field, I couldn't help myself. I was there rooting for Wales again. It's just, I was talking with my sister, and I'm pretty sure I watched more Wales matches than I watched Germany matches in the last couple of years. And as soon as the match started, it was Gareth Bale and Aaron Ramsey and Ben Davies and Hennessy in goal. And he's 6'8". He's tall, that dude. But Kiefer Moore and just all, and I know that doesn't mean anything to most people, but those were the guys I've been rooting for like a while now, like hoping they would make it to the World Cup and watching that playoff match. Being probably one of the only people rooting for Wales over Ukraine. My heart did not break when Wales made it over Ukraine because I've been rooting for Wales for years now. And it made me realize that Wales might not actually be my side team that I root for. They might have elevated themselves back higher. Because I love that team. I love their style. I love how they play. I really feel like they play completely as a team. And this isn't a strategy that works for everyone, nor should every team play this way. But it is a style that works for Wales. And it is a style I enjoy watching. But every one of those players defends together. They attack together. They do all of it together. You will see the defenders up trying to score goals. You will see the forwards back trying to help with the defense. They play so completely as a team. And even though Gareth Bale is like the superstar of the team, he doesn't play as if he's the superstar of the team. It is a team effort. And I just love that about Wales. I love it so much. And I have for years. Since the Euros that I've been watching them in. I think the past 2 Euros. I'm not positive for sure. But I mean, there was a time when I added Welsh on Duolingo to try to learn that crazy language because I was so impressed with the Wales team. So having said that, I was very happy when America scored the first goal, but there was also that like sad feeling. I was like, oh, I don't know that I want Wales to win. I mean, lose. And I spent a good part of the next time being like, okay, well, just America don't score anymore. Don't make it like an embarrassing loss for Wales. And then, like, the tempo picked up. The second half happened, and the first half, America was probably the better team. There was a bit nerviness where you could tell that the American players were this team with the second youngest players. Only one player on that team has been to a World Cup before, and you can tell that there was some nerves happening. There was some of that, like, young exuberance where, you know, they go out trying to win the game in the first 20 minutes and they just need to take a breath for a minute. And then the second half, so Tim Way scored for America in minute 35. And then the second half happened. And it was like Wales came out and they were like, we're gonna play to win. We are not giving up. We're not rolling over. We're gonna prove that we're ranked number 19 or 18 or wherever they are in that ranking, and that we deserve to be here. And they played, I have to say, this was probably the most aggressive match that has happened yet. Admittedly, there's only been 4 matches, but it was aggressive. There was, how many fouls? I mean, there was a lot of fouls. There was 6 yellow cards, 4 for America, 2 for Wales. There probably should have been a couple more yellow cards, to be honest. There was, in the 81st minute, Gareth Bale was fouled in the penalty box and given a penalty, which he scored, and that tied it up 1-1. And I think at the end of the game, half of the players were limping on both teams. They had cramps. They had been attacking each other so much and injuring each other so much. Like, if you want to watch a good open game, like if you want to watch a massacre, watch the England game from earlier today. If you want to watch a good open game, well, the Senegal game was also really open, but this one, there was so much back and forth, and it was just, it was crazy. So it ended 1-1. But I think at the end, the US kind of seemed to like just want to play for a draw. They stopped really trying to score in the last like maybe 10 minutes. And Wales seemed to want it more, and I really do kind of wish that Wales had gotten that last goal. I think they would have deserved it. I am glad Gareth Bale scored because he is probably my favorite player. I'm trying to think favorite in the world, but I love Manuel Neuer and I love Thomas Müller. There's some German players I just love, so I mean, he's within the top 5 of players in the world that I love. And so yeah, I'm so happy for him that he said in a quote, one of the commentators mentioned that growing up, it was always very sad for him to watch the World Cup because he didn't feel like there was anyone for him to root for because Wales was never there. I mean, they hadn't been there since the 50s, 58, which is in none of these players' lifetime. I mean, 58, that's 64 years ago, right? But now he gets to be the one that's there. Like, some little Welsh soccer player gets to root on their own country, and that's so awesome. So I'm really excited for them. I mean, it's still gonna be tough making it out of that group because England slaughtered their opponent, Iran. England slaughtered them. Sorry, there's a phone call coming in, but it's not a number I recognize. I'm just going to, oops. Well, I'll just let it do whatever it does. So now who's going to take that second spot? And this is something that might come down to goal differentials. It's entirely possible that both Wales and the US beat Iran and lose to England. And it might then come down to who has the better goal differential. So that's why every goal counts at this stage in the World Cup. Every single one counts, because I mean, if the US only scores 1 against Iran and Wales scores 2, and then they both get slaughtered by England from the same goal differential amount, that would put Wales through and the US not. And or if England kills Wales like +4 or something like that and only gets 1 goal more than the US, the US could go through over England. I mean, sorry, not over England, over Wales. So it's so exciting. That's what there is to love about the World Cup, is just it's crazy and it's wild and it's exciting and you never know what's going to happen. I'm going to have to cut that out because I do not want another copyright strike situation. So apparently it unpaused my pause, so that didn't last for very long. But anyways, going back to what I was talking about. World Cups are just so unpredictable. Same with the Euros. So unpredictable. You honestly don't know. There's always some dark horse that makes it through, some underdog that you weren't having your eye on before, but somehow they made it out the group stages and they just do a run. Denmark was that country in the last Euros. Now people have a bit more of an eye on Denmark, but there's always some country and they make a little run. Sometimes they make it pretty far in the run, and on a rare occasion, they might make it all the way. But with each successful little run that they do, more attention goes into their national team. More finance and funding can go into it to better develop their academies and their youth development programs and all those kind of things. And it just makes for better teams overall. So, yeah, I just love that about these big sporting events. Oh my gosh. My mom got Gareth Bale and Christian Bale mixed up in our family text. My mom watched, I think she watched all 3 matches today, which is really funny. She's not necessarily the biggest sports enthusiast, but Senegal was playing and she was really interested in that. She's currently staying with my sister in England, and so she wanted to watch the England match. She said that the feed in the pub that was next door to my sister's apartment was running like 2 minutes ahead of her feed, and so they kept like spoiling it. She could hear their celebrations. So yeah. Anyways, so let's talk about tomorrow. I didn't finish filling this out for Group B, but the standings will be right now England, then the US and Wales are tied for second, third, and then Iran's at the bottom. So that kind of follows my predictions. Okay, so the 2 groups playing tomorrow are C and D. For some reason, I thought Germany was playing tomorrow, so I was going to make sausages and spätzle for dinner, but they're not playing until Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday, which means Tuesday will be sausages and spätzle. I think my husband's too sick for Mexican food, so I might just do French onion soup because I'll be rooting for France over Australia. Probably. Maybe I'll root for Australia because I'm not a huge fan of the France team. They're showing highlights. I just saw Gareth Bale score again. Okay, I don't love man buns, but that man looks good in a man bun. I'll just say that. Not a lot of men can pull it off, but Gareth Bale pulls it off. Anyway, so tomorrow is Argentina versus Saudi Arabia. I am predicting a strong win for Argentina, like strong. I believe it was Argentina. It's either Argentina or Brazil is currently on like a 16-game winning streak. Winning or no losing. I don't remember which. But anyways, they're killing it. Most commentators seem to think either Argentina or Brazil is going to win it. I know that favorites frequently don't win it. So I'm kind of hoping that happens because I have some other teams I'm rooting for. But anyway, so I'm predicting Argentina with a big win over Saudi Arabia. Then it's Mexico versus Poland. I have Mexico beating Poland in this standing, but maybe I put that in the wrong order. I'll still say Mexico's probably going to win, but I'm probably going to root for Poland because I know more Polish players, like Robert Lewandowski. So I'll probably root for Poland and hope for them to win. Denmark versus Tunisia, that's the second game of the day. I'm definitely rooting for Denmark, and I think that they have a good chance of winning. And then the final match of the day is France versus Australia, which I predict France to win, no problem. Although, listening to the commentary today, apparently there are a lot of injured French players, so that might hinder some of their, but they still have a lot of amazing good players, so even though it will probably hinder them a bit, they're still gonna do really good. So that is my predictions for tomorrow. I am going to edit this, get it uploaded. I only worked on the sock today because the dogs were so needy. Yeah, I could not get them off of my chair. Every time I would try to put them off, they would jump back on. They were just very needy, and yeah, that sucked. But I did finish the heel flap. I am now working on the decreases, and I want to finish decreasing back to the normal stitch count before putting this away for the day. So hopefully I can do that while editing, and then I might need to take a nap. I might need to take a nap or just try to actually really go to bed early tonight because it's like a 1 a.m. wake up for the first match. Oh, geez. So the match starts at 2, but commentary starts at 1. I mean, maybe I won't watch the commentary. I don't know. We'll see how I'm feeling when the alarm clock goes off. But I don't want to miss any matches. So anyways, gonna get this edited, uploaded, and maybe take a nap. So I will talk with you guys more tomorrow. Bye.